I've literally, the reason I was slightly late here, I was just installing a light strip in our, what would you call it, entertainment centre.
Oh. You were installing a light strip, so what was that? Just you plugging it in?
No. You have to stick it. You have to stick it down as well.
Brilliant.
Dick.
Just plug it into the socket.
Yeah, and then what? Just leave it there?
Yeah.
No, you have to install it, don't you?
What does
Put
it
it around?
Does it stick
it
or
to stuff.
stick it?
Yeah.
So what did you do?
Well, I took the sticker off and then put it on. Very carefully, very methodically.
And was it appreciated? Is it something that's?
I haven't told anyone yet. Why haven't we got any food this month? Well, we have got green lights under the TV, so.
Oh, what's that light? Oh, it must have come with it. We just never realised. See, that's what.
Yeah.
That's
Oh my God.
That's what.
Has that always been there?
What you don't know is that when you were changing the lights on your phone just there, the other room was going fucking crazy.
Dan, on YouTube, it still says episode 30, Steamy Oil, is live now.
Perfectly fine. I will change that right away. I've literally just come onto it now.
Just FYI.
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 Big old can of beer you got there, Lewis.
Yeah, it's Tin Man Tropical, Williams Brothers.
Oh.
They're quite good. They're
Alright,
always
spoilers.
going to reduce than Sainsbury's. £2 for a large can.
I went to a park yesterday in Essex and there was a cafe in the park. My wife went in and got a drink for my son just to get him some water. And he came out with a can like that of water. And he was like, "Look, Daddy, I've got a beer." And he was pretending that it was a beer. And he thought it was the most wonderful thing that he had a can of beer. It was just the still water in a can. But
Remember being kids
fantastic.
and I was going to say being kids and getting hammered on Bash Shandy.
Yeah.
Oh, it's 0.25%. I'm hammered. It's like,
Yeah.
Hammered. Are you sure?
Shandy.
Bass.
Bass Shandy. Yeah, I do remember that. I remember we used to get, I can't remember, occasionally at dinner, my mum and dad, my mum mainly, would buy Schlur. Is that what it's called?
Oh, a slur.
Yeah.
And me and
Flavored
my,
wine.
Yeah.
yeah,
What is
me
the
and
thing?
my, is it still, you still get it? I don't know. But me and my sister would say,
Yeah.
"Oh, it's children's wine."
Hooch was the first alcopop on it.
Yeah, I remember Hooch coming out.
Hooch.
It was a big deal.
Hooch.
I remember it, and it was on Newsround. They like sort of told it from an aspect that it was like,
Round.
yeah, they were like, there was just
John Craven.
Yeah.
I think it was maybe after John Craven.
Lou Peter. My dad always used to buy me Smirnoff Ice, like when I was 16. I think he thought that, I don't know, I think that he thought that was an acceptable, like, they're not, like, it just tastes like lemonade, doesn't it?
It's
Reach
might as well be.
Pop, son.
Reef was the main one, I
Yeah.
think, from when we went to parties.
That was a university thing.
Torpedoing reef. Did you ever do that? Where you had the straw in the top and then
Yeah,
out the side so you could down it in about 10 seconds?
I could never down it.
We would just do pub crawls of only places that did £1 reefs. Just ordering like 16 at a time.
I remember so many
£1
times
reefs?
after doing
No.
that.
See you later.
Well, we'll take our custom elsewhere to 1998.
It's funny because it was Sheffield and everywhere did £1 reefs. So it's
Yeah.
fine. Not on the weekend, obviously, 'cause that's when the locals came out. But you know,
Blue Wickets.
It always used to really hit my stomach, though, the reef. It was so sugary. I can remember so many
Beg your
times.
pardon.
The reefer
like
used
Sunny
to hit
Delight,
my
wasn't it?
stomach.
Reefer. I'd have to go and lay down in the toilet just to get till my stomach got better.
I must see it up in the toilet.
Andrew St. Monster Reef at Weatherspoons. Again, also paint the picture. Love it.
Yeah.
where's he saying that?
I was never into Blue Wicked, Blue WKD, whatever you want to call it. Was never into them.
Nah. Maybe next time we go for a night out, we should only drink alcopops.
Mhm.
We'll just have to drink horrendous alcopops. No beer or wine.
We should do that
Wow.
Weatherspoons thing again and let
That was
people send
ruthless.
us
Yeah.
shitty alcopops
I remember just
instead.
sending you that. I
To
remember.
be fair, I'd rather have that than shots of tequila, but especially at that point in the night.
That's true.
So ungrateful. Like,
He's
here are
dropping,
people
he's dropping
buying you.
Thanks,
subtle
Jan.
hints here, isn't he? Yeah, he's dropping subtle hints. They were expensive then for a Weatherspoons. I was like, fucking hell.
That's still the last night out I've had, guys. That was
Yeah.
proper night out anyway.
I've still got heartburn from all the alcopops I used to drink when I was younger. So
Ruined your heart.
it's just still, yeah, it doesn't matter. No Rennies can get rid of that shit. Jive.
He was a scared boy.
Hello,
I've been looking at
everyone in the
mics.
chat.
I really need
Great
to
see you
get a
all.
new mic.
Sorry, Laurie, I missed that. What
I
was
said
that?
hello to everyone in the chat. I wasn't talking to
Oh.
you, Ben. Don't...
All right. Okay, now.
Wow.
Cable keeps falling at the back of this thing.
Out your arse.
Yeah.
It's going to make it
No
fun
matter.
for Ben to edit.
Well, as long as it
I'm not
happens,
touching this one.
happens now and not in the main pod, we're fine. Excuse me, a bit of burpage there. Apologies.
That's disgusting.
1, 2, 1, 2. What song is that? Someone tell me.
Nate's
Anyone?
just made a shocking confession here in the chat.
1, 2. Not
1,
Fatman
2, 1,
Scoop.
2.
No.
Anyone in the chat?
Come on.
I've got one. What song is this? Where you been then?
What?
Where you been then?
Where you been then?
Yeah.
Just an impression of someone.
No, it's in a song.
Oh.
Where
we
you
got-
been then?
I think we've got the episode name, by the way. Bacardi Breeders.
Thanks,
Nice.
Nate.
Yeah.
It is North Star by Delusionists.
What?
You fucking kiss
Oh,
ass.
there's a little. That's an ad lib.
It's still in the song.
That's not even part of the lyrics. It's just an ad lib.
It's my favourite bit.
Well done. Thank you.
My favourite bit isn't you.
That is you, is it? It was you, Ben, was it?
It
not?
is me. I am saying.
Ah, there we
You're really stupid now, Ben, don't you?
You've been then. Yeah, good.
Didn't even get your own lyric.
Your
It's not
own-
really a lyric, is it? It's just a lib.
Bit. Your
part
own
of-
bit.
Google the lyrics to North Star by Delusionists. I'm pretty sure it's North Star. Oh,
I don't think they've ever been published, to be honest.
you're not.
You should do.
They are not on Rap Genius, as far as I'm aware.
Are they on Rap Person?
Rap
Adequate.
subpar bellend.
Yeah. Rap Bin. Are they there?
Don't start bin chat.
Bin chat.
Okay.
3 times I listened to that through, Ben, today.
Wow. That's really nice.
Occasionally I do it. And like I've said before, when I moved house, I had, was it, what's the name of it? I can't remember. Apologies. Prolusion?
Prelusion Plus, yeah.
Yeah, Prolusion Plush. Plush. Prolusion
Plushy.
Plus on in the car when I moved house.
That's really nice.
You could turn your music down.
Not literally. Is that what your wife said?
Turn that shit off.
What the fuck is this? Ah, that's very kind.
Didn't say I enjoyed it. It's fine.
Got his little Ben
Listened to it.
plushie.
You endured it 3 times over. Right. Let me
I'd buy a
pull
Ben
up-
plush.
I think we're good to
Yeah.
go, by the way.
Build a bear workshop.
Imagine a Ben plushie.
I'd buy it.
Mm.
Would be quite good.
Mm.
But like one of those pillows.
Oh god.
You said that far too straight. While staring into the camera as
I'd
well.
buy
right?
You know, one of those pillows.
I'm just saying I would buy it.
That's a Christmas
Well-
gift.
We should probably make them available then.
Mm.
In our merch shop.
The way you did that,
Yeah.
Ben, and then held your phone as if to go, we should probably make them available then. Launch store.
Buy now.
Make it so.
Limited run. New Ben
We've got a
plushie.
Kickstarter going for it. We just got to hit our funding goal. We'll be there.
200 quid. We'll make it out of socks.
200 quid.
Oh, that reminds me. Speaking of merch,
If we got 20 quid, I'd be happy.
Speaking of merch, he's coming back. Here he goes. It's a t-shirt
Ben's,
and a half.
he's been moved into a different room.
It's a very small
He's got a little
oven.
kitchen
It's-
there. And
yeah. We've got the same one upstairs, directly above me. There
it's,
is the same thing.
It might
Is that
not
an
be the same.
IKEA?
It might be just
Yeah.
a giant. You never know. Oh,
Oh.
there we is.
Memories.
Memories. That's subtle. It's almost as subtle as the Switch that was on here that took Lewis like 6 episodes to realise on the overlay. Switch Island on it.
Just Switch Island sticking on that.
Proper chuffed as well. You were like, "That's what on now. I know it's on
That's just,
now."
that's just. I mean, in my own defence, I never look on the overlays when we're live.
That is not a defence.
That's not defence. That's just not narcissism.
In my own defence, you know all that hard work you put in, Dan? I fucking ignore it.
Well,
Single track mind. I can't be concentrating on something else and speaking at the same time and trying to breathe.
No, I agree.
so it's the group that are the most persistent when there's anything behind anything in a picture.
What's he doing? Oh, he's muted himself again.
Andrew,
Yeah,
I'm eating salt and pepper chicken.
Checking the audio. I'm going to take a picture of this.
Salt and pepper chicken.
Ready to go?
Chicken.
Yeah, salt and pepper chicken. Do you have salt and pepper like as a thing around your ways?
Yeah.
On me always.
At the Chinese, yeah, we get it at the Chinese, but it's not. Well, that's the only place that I could think of that would get it.
Yeah.
So popular. aren't they?
I have a condiment tip for you.
Okay.
Hoisin sauce in a cheese toasty.
Mm.
Give it a try.
Laurie, that looked like instant disapproval.
It started promising, and then I was like,
Hoisin sauce.
Just try it.
In a cheese toasty.
Yeah.
What
In
part?
a cheese toasty.
Do you not like
What,
cheese
what?
toasties, Laurie?
well, yeah, not like a cheese toasty, but it's got to be Worcestershire sauce, a bit of ketchup. That's all you need.
Yeah, I mean that's a basic bitch thing to have in a cheese toasty. But try.
Have you ever
hoisin
had
sauce.
Henderson's relish? Henderson's?
Who's Henderson?
Henderson's.
It's a Sheffield.
Henderson's man relish.
Bit of mustard maybe as well.
Bit of mustard.
Brown-
Yeah,
brown
bit
Yeah,
of
sauce.
but honestly, it doesn't sound like it'll work. But just try it. Just try it one day.
Nah, right.
Please.
Well,
Ben needs
Fine.
this.
I mean, I tried
Shall
to.
should we start recording?
Yeah, why not? Let's get this over with, shall we?
Let's do that. I'm recording. Microphone 3, 5. That's going to be there. Nice and loud. Cool.
Nice. I am recording.
Me as well.
Me
I
too.
too.
Oh yeah.
Me too.
Should we do a clap?
Let's do a clap.
Do a clap. 3, 2, 1. Cool.
Bang on.
Beautiful.
I was bang on. So yeah, if it was me, it would be mustard, cheese and ham toast, like proper Welsh rarebit. That's my. Yeah. One of them.
Yeah.
Brown sauce for me. That's it. Brown sauce.
What, just on the toasty or just on the side?
Just
of a piece of
brown-
toast?
just a bowl.
Bottle.
Just a bowl of brown sauce.
Mmm.
Just goes into his fridge and there's just 20 bottles. He's like,
Yeah.
we'll go for the 99 today.
Daddy's. I'm partial to Daddy's. HP is what we normally get, but I do like a bottle of Daddy's brown sauce.
Okay.
That's the make of brown sauce, not that my dad makes.
I do love daddies.
Daddy, you make the best brown sauce.
Daddy, do you have any brown sauce you could maybe send my way?
Yours is my favourite.
Here we go. Andrew says miso paste in pasta. Amazing.
That is a good
Don't
shout.
listen to Andrew.
Yeah, it's a very good shout. Miso paste is nice. Miso sauce.
A bit of umami. We love umami, don't
Umami. Kimchi.
we? Umami. Mm.
Umami.
Anyone saying a cold sausage.
Oh God.
Andrew said Lewis is partial to daddies.
Hmm.
That was an easy one.
My chat is very delayed.
Was
Was that the last comment?
someone
Someone
clicked that?
clicked that.
Lol. That was the last one.
Yeah, I ain't got that. I ain't got it.
I got it.
Listen out.
I ain't got it, Gav.
We've been live for 50 minutes. We've had no dropped frames. And comfortable 60 frames per second.
Wow.
Cruising at a comfortable 60 frames per second. If you look to your left, you will see downward.
Downward.
To your right.
On the
also
right is
send
the exit.
Down below.
Down below.
Laurie Eggleston.
Cool. Should we start this?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Something poignant? No, we don't do that anymore, do we? Let's do it anyway. For the
Let's do it.
Come on,
You
then.
see something poignant, Dan.
Something
When you go.
poignant. Poignant. Nah, I'm not going to. No, I won't. I'm just gonna press the button.
Kept you waiting. Sucks.
Hello! That woke all of you up. Apart from Lewis, who looked like he was about to fall asleep there. Good evening and welcome to the Cross Players, an irreverent podcast that Apple podcast reviewer Donkey Slong Your Mum called They Would Be Good If They Got Rid of the Fat Jedward Bloke. Okay, that's no way to talk about Ben, but moving on. We are the Cross Players, and this is the CrossCast, your weekly wrap-up of all the big gaming news and a deep dive into these reprobates gaming brains. If you like what we do, please pop over to patreon.com/thecrossplayers and chuck us a quid so that Lewis can get a tramp stamp.
Oh, another one.
Another
You
one?
have more than one.
I don't know. Depends where you put them. Anyway, enough of me. Let's see exactly what the cat dragged in for this week. And first up, you know him as having big fingers. But what about his big heart? For 6 years on the run, this man, this big, jolly, chonky, fat-fingered man, has supported big-fingered families across the world, making sure that other people ailed with gigantic thumbs are always looked after. Are you interested in supporting him? Then head over to bensbigfingersinyourfamily.com and find out more. It is Ben. Hello, Ben.
Hello, Dan.
I'm not going to give up on
Thanks.
that one. I'm not going to give up on that one. It
No,
still
no.
makes me laugh. So I will say it. You okay, mate? What are you drinking?
Good point. Just some water. Just
Okay.
water.
That's straightforward. I like it. Oh, who's that over there? It is the big, nasty Scotsman that hangs around on street corners and heckles youths that haven't found the cartographer in Hollow Knight or the idiot English that thinks there's only one shop in Edinburgh. It's the beautiful, handsome, fierce, but a little bit vulnerable. It's lovely Lewis. Hello,
That's
mate.
me. Hiya.
You okay? What are you drinking?
I'm all right. I've got this big tin. It's called Tin Man Tropical IPA by Williams Brothers, and I've also got another drink. I think it's behind the curtain. Behind the magical curtain for later on. Joker IPA.
Joker IPA. I like it.
That's where we keep drinks up here behind curtains.
It is the start of the long
Why
weekend.
is a homeless man passing you drinks?
Cheers.
This is all a ruse. He's actually living outside in some
Schneider's
sort
out
of
there.
some sort of bin. Hold on, a couple of tweets here. Number one, so I'm just going down my timeline. Number one, me just being me. Okay. Number two, personal trainer, dancer, meditator. Okay. Number three, share your photos with us using hashtag brand name. No, that's not him either. Another one, my name ain't Mary, but I'm still popping. No, that's not right. Number five, traveller, book lover, obsessed with tacos. No, that's not right either. Check out our bestsellers. No, that's not right. Glitter is the only option. Could be misinterpreted. That's definitely not him. Another one, walking in a winter Sunderland. Definitely not him. Life is short. Make every selfie count. Could be him. One day, I hope to be happily married old man telling wild stories from my wild youth. No, not him. Another one says that not like the rest of them. Okay. I'm no pastor. No. Pretty and profitable. Could be. I'm not sure. Hustle for more muscle. Could be. Again, I'm not sure. Living life on my own terms. My puns are koala tea. No idea. All of these tweets haven't been written by this man. It's Laurie.
Hi, Dan.
Hello, mate.
You've given me some great ideas though for my next tweet there. Thank you.
My favourite being walking in a winter Sunderland, which I know is pretty funny anyway. But how are you? What are you drinking? What are you having?
I'm drinking Cannonball by Magic Rock Brewing. Apparently, it's very nice. Very nice.
That is a good one.
I like
Rice.
Ben.
Yeah.
Damien Rice. That's cool. I am your muse, your flame, the cheese to your burger. Sorry, the right smudge to go. The ace in your wizard's sleeve. The dog to your dinner, and the toad in your hole. Dan. Welcome to the CrossCast. Gents, are you having a wonderful evening? How are we? We okay?
Very good.
Yeah,
Very good.
Thank you.
Very delayed. I love that. Everyone was waiting for each other politely.
Yeah.
Very cool.
We're polite.
I'm very good, Dan. I'm very good.
Thanks, Laurie. That was more definitive. That's exactly what I wanted to hear. Lewis,
I've
how's
been
the
at work
curtain?
today, so
Oh, have
it's
you?
good.
Oh,
Yeah.
geez.
Had the whole week off. It's been
Wow,
nice.
Bloody hell. No wonder you
You've
look
had a week
fresh.
off.
Yeah,
Sorry.
making the most of my
Oh.
new freedoms.
Writing a lot of tweets as well, which is always good. Should we jump into the new news?
Let's.
Let's. Yes. Let's go! Mario disappears from the eShop. Why is it so difficult to buy a PS5? New Game Pass games, and Sony confirms that PS4, PSP, and Vita digital stores are closing for good after last week's rumours. Laurie, I'm going to come to you with that one first then. So what do you think about all of these games disappearing? So it's not PS4, it's PS3. Somebody's done an April Fool's there. So PS3, PSP, and Vita digital stores. What's your stance in this?
I mean, they always have to shut eventually, right? Come on, like that's what happens to old eShops. Like, are these? So the issue is that some of these games that were only released on PSP and Vita and PS3, then they're not available in the PSN store anymore. So those games will be lost forever, which I guess is sad. But I don't think there's probably that many games that people care about, are there? I don't know. And you can still, if you go and purchase the games, you can still download them later after this date. So you can still download any games that you've previously bought. You don't get a chance to buy any of the games that you haven't already bought yet. So I mean, Sony probably know full well there isn't a huge number of people out there that are waiting to buy these obscure games but haven't done so yet. And maybe they'll just do the Nintendo trick now, is people rush out and buy all these obscure PSP games. Now they've got the final chance to do so. I don't know. I don't think this is a huge problem, really, because like if you've wanted to buy these games, you've had many, many years by now to buy them.
Yeah, completely.
God, I
agree.
wish you were on last week, Laurie.
Because Ben got chewed up last week. Yeah, looking at the game list, I mean,
John on last week.
it might as well have been. Like the list that we kind of looked at, I looked online, every single kind of games website wrote their best of list, and there was nothing really on there that I'd one ever really heard of and two really cared about. So I don't know. I'm a bit mixed on it. I get the game preservation point, but Ben, I know you kind of had a piece to say last week. What's the kind of reiteration of it this week? Have you changed your ways? Have you thought and have you come back to the light?
Yeah, I'm really upset
You converted.
about this.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, just no. I don't want to kind of go over old ground, but I just feel like it is what it is. You gotta take the rough with the smooth.
Isn't it incumbent on the people that made those games though to put them on the store again to buy on new formats? I don't know. They can't, like, it's important to be able to access these games, and presumably the developers of the games will put them on Steam still. They will be available to buy somewhere, or they'll be available and protected in some form. But you can't expect Sony to maintain these infrastructures when they probably know that no one is buying games on these old stores, so they can't just keep them open indefinitely for no one to buy games on, just in case somebody in the future may want to. I agree that these games need to be preserved, but that's kind of not Sony's job. It's the people that made the game to find a new home, a new venue for them. And there's so much stuff being pumped out on the Switch and on the PSN still now that just relaunch the game. I guess that's what I would suggest to them to do.
Nate in the chat said Xbox do though, which is quite interesting. Lewis, you went on last week. What's your kind of stance on it?
I mean, a digital store is closing. But if you think about it, a real life store closed down. Woolworths, that doesn't exist anymore.
True. Good point.
I mean, that really does sum it up, doesn't it?
But other than the pick and mix, did Woolworths truly create art? That is now
Those
gone to
carrier bags.
They wear
CD singles.
To be fair,
Yeah.
I treasure the memory of Woolworths like I treasure the memory of my first video game experience. And I'm only being semi-sarcastic when I say that.
Yeah, I think it's tough, isn't it? If you haven't got like, we all live off nostalgia because we're gamers and we enjoy the things that we played in the past. But I think then to kind of put a stake in the ground, like you said, Laurie, and keep those infrastructures open, that must be very, very costly to run across like thousands of gaming consoles, especially all the servers that house like gigabytes and gigabytes and terabytes of games. That must be a lot. So yeah, I get both sides of the argument. It is quite tough. Alex in the chat just said my first job was in Woolworths or Woolroths. I think he spelt it wrong, but it might be Woolroths. I don't know.
Yeah,
That's what they called it. That's what they called it where he's from.
He's clarified it's Woolworths. It's okay. Everyone calm down. Okay, cool. Well, I think that's our kind of stance on it. Nate's on the chat. He is getting very animated there and wanted to fight people, which is fine.
Getting angry again.
If you want to go and fight Nate, you can find him online.
Just chill, Nate. Just calm down. Yeah. Just relax.
Just
Everything's going to be okay.
Ben's Calming Lights. That's what it should be called.
Yeah.
It's exceptionally difficult to buy the PS5 at this point in time, and I just quickly wanted to read out an article over on The Independent that interested me because it is so mainstream. Why is it so hard to buy PlayStation? How a chip shortage, lockdowns, and bots conspired to frustrate fans. Not more so because we haven't all got next-gen consoles, but did we particularly struggle to get ours at this stage? Lewis, I know you're probably not having a horse in this race because you're still, 20 years behind? But Laurie...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, 20 years behind. Laurie, did you struggle to get your PS5? Was it relatively straightforward for you?
I was very lucky in that when they did the night that when pre-orders went live, they had their showcase, didn't they, for the PS5?
Yeah.
And I think I was just kind of caught up in all the hype after that and just tweeting stuff. And then they went live that same night about 11 o'clock, and I was just up anyway, so I just jumped straight on it. So but by the morning they were gone, so that was just complete chance. And so I was fortunate that I was just up and online when they went live, but after then I'm sure I wouldn't have had much of a chance.
Whenever it was, at some point in recent months, it's become clear to the many fans who want a PS5 that getting hold of one will probably not be as simple as paying £350 or the £450 price tag and picking one up from a shop. Recently in Japan, the frustration was visible physically as a rush to buy the console ended in a riot. Ben, the Xbox Series X and the S seems to be now widely available, which is great news, I think, for most people out there that are looking for a console, and probably paves the way. How difficult did you find it getting your X? Was it relatively straightforward, or?
It was actually, yeah. I kind of so I originally, well, from the point that the next generation consoles were announced, I've always said, right, I'm going to get a PS5 next. That will be the first next gen console I get. And it was only kind of they make it very hard to get them, and I don't want to work for it. Like, I'm giving you £450 here. Like, come to me. I don't want to have to do the chasing. So I kind of speculatively sat in queues and registered for the Currys lottery to be able to have the privilege to buy one. And at some point something just switched in my mind. It was like, like I've still got so many PS4 games to get through. I like the cut of Xbox's jib, like the stuff that they're doing with Game Pass. I've spent, much more time with the PS4 than I did the Xbox One.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I just like what they're about. They're completely winning the PR war with PlayStation. Like that.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to buy or stay bought into that ecosystem rather than go to the effort to get maybe 2 exclusive games that I might be interested in over the next year or 2 even. Like none of the launch games interest me. Ratchet and Clank, I haven't even played the first one on PS4 yet. So it just kind of became a kind of Xbox have made it easy.
Yeah, great.
Like, they make it so it's almost irresistible. And that all access deal, like I can cancel my existing Game Pass subscription for like 11, 12 quid, whatever that is. Cancel Stadia for 9 or 10 quid. Cancel PS Plus, and that's 30 quid almost, and that will pay for my.
Is that how you bought it then, through the all access?
Yeah, and it was just easy and seamless, and you just plug it in. All my cloud saves are there. I played Titanfall 2, which I haven't played for years, and it just worked straight away. And you see all this nonsense about the PS5. Transferring saves or upgrading to the latest versions of it, and it just seems like everything about it seems like a faff for the sake of all they've got is exclusive games, and they've upped their game in terms of the controller is nice now, and they've probably put themselves on top in that respect. But I've said it before, it's a good job they've got really good games because if it wasn't for that, they're shit at everything else.
I think you've. Sorry if I just jump in here. I think you've done a good job there, Ben, of trying to convince us and maybe yourself as well that all you're trying to do is justify the fact that you bought all those PS Plus, PS Now games. So now you bought them, you don't have to worry about them being on that subscription service. You can play them and be like, oh yeah, but I bought them. That's the real reason you bought the Xbox. You can't feel the wool over my eyes.
But no, it just. The experience of and everything I'm seeing about PlayStation put me off, and everything I'm seeing about Xbox I found attractive. So I just kind of did a 180 and thought, yeah, do you know what? You deserve my cash. Take it.
I'm begging
monthly
you.
Installment.
Yeah, and it was
that subscription's very attractive. It's quite appealing. What's it called again? The All Access. That's it. Yeah, like 28 quid or whatever it is.
What's it called? All Access. Was that a little look over your shoulder then to check with the missus? Oh, what's it called again?
See, the beauty of this gen, if it's anything like last gen, then Ben, you'll probably do the same as me, but in reverse. In that I'm probably waiting for when they can shrink Series X down into a Series S size box and price for the mid-gen upgrade. And then I know you hate the PS5 look, which probably also didn't help the PS5's favour. So when they do the inevitable PS5 Slim in like 2 or 3 years, then that's the kind of the one for you at that point. And then I'll be the same when there's the new Xbox.
Yeah,
I reckon.
PlayStation definitely needs a way of handling itself with Game Pass. I know it's going down the free game route, and pretty much everything since the Series X and S came out has been banger after banger on PlayStation Plus. Like, it really is giving away some AAA amazing games. However, I do completely agree. I think the marketing around the Bethesda and ZeniMax deal was just astounding, and it put them into a place where literally everyone was talking about that console going, well, what if the exclusives, and there still isn't clarity over whether or not that we're going to get a lot of Bethesda games or in the right amount of time on a PlayStation compared to what inevitably is going to come out on Xbox. And it was an absolute masterstroke as well, like the day of the acquisition, moving all those games immediately onto Game Pass.
Yeah.
So it wasn't just the pockets of the guys over at Bethesda that were lined, but ultimately as well the gamers that benefited. So yeah, they're getting the marketing bang on. It's going to be very.
Actually, they're just owning the news cycle, and I just I'm for someone that works in marketing, I'm really receptive to marketing. Like, I like being marketed to. I like knowing that companies give a shit about what the public think, and the fact they've got this new game's coming out in Game Pass in two weeks. Oh, we've got backwards compatible stuff in the cloud. They're hitting you with positives every single week, and even when they make a fuck up, like they did with the games with golds or the live, they were trying to bump the price up. The fact that they retracted that.
Yeah.
And when actually,
the same day, wasn't it? It was such a quick, shit, quick.
Imagine
4 hours later.
Imagine a Sony or a Nintendo doing that. It just wouldn't happen. So, I'm
I
impressed.
think
you'll
this
pay it and
generation
you'll
is
like
going to
paying
be
it.
much more, so many more people that do own both consoles, because I think both of them are really compelling in their own way. They're both really good, strong, and like last gen and probably the one before it, there was an obvious stronger and weaker platform. But this time around, they've both really nailed it in their own way, and it's kind of fantastic for gamers and for gaming. Just to pick up on your point about owning the marketing, I guess Sony would counter that and say, well, we can't make them any faster than we are now, so like we don't, we're doing fine as well. So I don't know if they're that bothered right now. It'll be interesting to see. It's fascinating how it's going to develop over the next year or two when stock is in place and you can actually compare which one is actually selling better and which one is hitting home with players and consumers more.
It's hitting home with developers more as well.
I fully expect the PS5 to be the best-selling console of this generation. I'm under no illusion about that. I just think Xbox clearly don't care about shifting consoles. They care about shifting subscriptions and monthly recurring revenue. And if you can play it on your phone or your fridge or your toaster, they're happy.
Yeah.
Are you including the Switch in that? Because the Switch would technically come under this gen as well.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying the PS5 would outsell the Switch necessarily, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah.
No,
It was. Thank you. Thank you for clarifying.
Yeah.
I'm all in on that kind of. As soon as
I've got a tramp at the window.
as soon as xCloud appears on iOS, then I'll be signing up to Game Pass through that, and I will be playing Banjo-Kazooie on my iPad using my Pro controller, and it's going to be fantastic.
Ooh, so that converted, man. I like that. So just on that subject as well. So 22 new indie games coming to Xbox Games Pass in 2021 and beyond. Art of the Rally, Astria Ascending, Backbone, Boyfriend Dungeon, Craftopia, Dead Static Drive, Hello Neighbor 2. That's quite a popular game. Edge of Eternity, Library of Ruina, Little Witch in the Woods, Moongrove Bay, Narita Boy. Narita Boy, anyone played that? I've heard quite a lot of people talking about it.
I've played it. I'm going to pick it up on Switch. It's good that it's on Game Pass. It means it comes under the bracket of a potential Game Club game. But to me, is a game that I would enjoy playing more on the Switch because I could play handheld, whatever, lying in bed. You know the drill. Another one with a fucking banging soundtrack, 80s synth. Oh, my. Get that listened to. It's quality. Yeah, what I've played, very good. Apologies when you go
Cool.
here.
No, it's fine. It's okay. Nobody Saves the World, cloud and console as well. Omno, Recompile. Sable, She Dreams Elsewhere, Stalker 2, which is a bit of a banger game. The Ascent, Undungeon, and Way to the Woods and Wild at Heart. A lot of indie games coming to the old Game Pass there. So, what else have we got to talk about? Oh, yeah. That little plumber boy's gone. He's dead. Yeah, he's gone. Is anybody actually confirmed that he's dead? Because you said you could still see him.
I could. So I went on to play earlier on today around lunchtime. I was like, I'm going to have a little check to see if Mario 35 is still there. And it was. I managed to, for the purposes of checking, I managed to join the game and play a couple of levels before I had to drop again. I then checked just before this call started, and I'm afraid to say, I don't know how to say this, but he's gone. He's gone.
What a nightmare. He's gone. Today is the big day where Mario will be no more, reports NintendoLife.com. Well, not entirely, but that's what it sure feels like right now with Nintendo wiping out a bunch of his games. While we got a final reminder going live on Nintendo Life later today, Nintendo appears to have already begun the Doomsday celebrations in Japan, thanking fans for their participation over the past year. Nintendo continued on the Japanese account. The Super Mario Brothers 35th anniversary campaign ends today, March 31st. We would like to thank all who participated. Mario will continue to power up, so please continue to support us. That's a little bit pathetic at the end, so please continue to support us. As if they're like a little indie developer, like, come on, please, guys, keep it up. We've done really well for you.
Just opened a theme park for him. Like, please support us.
It also makes it sound like Mario is some sort of robot. He'll continue to power up.
Continue to power up. Yeah, he's a good lad.
We'll plug him in at the end of the night and charge him up.
I know we've already kind of had this conversation a little bit in terms of game preservation, but it is weird. We all kind of thought Switch Pro was going to come in tandem at this point, or at least somebody told us it was. So at this point, we assumed Mario would be kind of going back into his little dungeon, and then a Switch Pro would be kind of popping up with enhanced versions of these games and all kind of other stuff. And I think it was a coincidence as well that it kind of fell on April 1st. A lot of people were like, "Oh, is that going to mean that it's going to be a fun time or a joke or something?" But yeah, he's gone. He's left. So it's Super Mario. What was it? 99 or something stupid. What was the name of the game?
35.
35th anniversary, Dan. Come on. And then also the sale of what's the name of the game? The trilogy remaster.
3D All Stars.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Anybody care again? I know it's a little bit of we knew this was happening and we didn't really agree with it at the time, but I'm not really bothered now. The game's some shite.
I mean, I care as much as I bought 2 copies of 3D All Stars and kept one in the wrapper. So, I mean, I've got a horse in the race.
Wow.
Scalper.
Filthy scalper. Laurie and I did the cross section for 3D All Stars. I still think it's a good little package. 64 has really dated Ben. That's enough. Has aged badly, but the other 2 games I'm willing to forgive. Sunshine Galaxy. You're no, get stuff.
I think they're all awful.
Galaxy, like you said it, Laurie. You'd pay 60 quid for that.
I would.
It hasn't. I don't think it's aged. It's a timeless classic.
No.
The first.
It is. It's still gorgeous.
It looks as good as Odyssey.
It's a really good-looking game, but my God, even just rotating around the worlds at the start really does my head in. I just did not like that game at all. I've got no memory of playing it when I was younger. It was that dark period where I didn't play games. So yeah, I know.
Yeah. See, on Galaxy, just to quickly, one of my favourite things to do is doing a long jump off the edge of a world and just going and feeling your Mario getting pulled back around the side and under.
Yeah, that inertia.
Yes, just like that gravity. Put the pull of gravity. Anyway.
In a small little package. So, should we move on to the bargain basement? Let's. I haven't got the audio, so I'm just going to...
There we go.
Cheers, Lewis. Thank you, mate. Oh, so bargain basement, our pick of the deals at the moment, and we are getting quite a lot of spring sales that we'd like to discuss. Laurie, I'm going to come to you first. What was your pick of all the sales, and what would you implore people buy?
Well, I picked Assassin's Creed Valhalla on the PSN store, whatever it's called. There's not many good deals on PlayStation 5 games at the moment. So if anyone that's picked up a PS5, £38 for Assassin's Creed Valhalla is actually really good value. Assassin's Creed games will eventually get really cheap, but they do hold their price for the first while, for quite a long while, and they don't really go down too much lower than £40. So it's a good price for it, and that's such a huge game. You can read my thoughts, and there's a video on our site on YouTube here. Or on the site, you can read about it as well. It's a really good game, and it's really well optimized for PS5 as well. So if you just got a PS5, it's a good, and it's better than spending 70 quid on whatever first party game it's going. So yeah, I recommend that one.
It's an absolute gorgeous game as well.
It looks great on PS5.
Although I do like the way you started the conversation off there. You went, these games, Assassin's Creed games, they do come down in price, but after a while, and it's the equivalent of like a weatherman going, it's going to rain. I don't know when, but it'll probably rain. It could be.
No, it will be 20 quid by the end of the year. But if you can wait that long, but it'll be a while for that price.
I remember you saying you're quite interested in this one, Dan.
Yeah, I bought it. I picked it up on PS5. Annoyingly picked it up on PS4 accidentally because the guy in Tesco brought me the PS4 copy and I didn't question it. So yeah, I picked it up. I played about an hour and a half of it. Don't know. It didn't grip me initially, but then I don't think many Assassin's Creed games do. So I think it's something you do have to kind of persevere with. And I got to the point of looking at a couple of the vistas and getting quite high in the game and being like, okay, yeah, I can see myself playing this, but yeah, I'll give it time. I'll give it time, man. It's good.
Every Assassin's Creed game changes things up, the mechanics up enough so that the first few hours feel really awkward.
Yeah.
It's just like, why do you change everything and the controls? Why do you change it from game to game, Ubisoft? You just nutters. Just settle down to just use the same engine and the same control set from game to game, just so it doesn't feel so awkward for those first few hours every time you play one. That's my tip to you, Ubisoft, because I know you're listening, watching.
Big fans.
Yeah. I don't know what to say to that. I was trying to think of a joke that was appropriate and I just couldn't. Lewis, what was your pick, my friend?
My pick is, I think if I remember correctly, our indie game of the year 2020, Streets of Rage 4 on the Switch. It is £14.59. What a bargain. That's a great price for that game.
Yeah.
And what a game. What a game it is.
That's a memory.
I still need to play that again, actually.
Have you not played it since you and Dan?
No.
Wow.
Literally, that's the only time I've ever played it. Start to finish with Dan. And I don't want to tarnish that memory. I just want it to live forever in my mind.
That was good memory. Not going to wash these hands, so that's fine. These big fingered hands.
I tell you guys, I played Streets of Rage 2 from start to finish with Corey, my youngest.
Nice.
And he loved that. So I think if we can play Streets of Rage 4, I assume there's a really easy setting that we could just go through that together. He'd love that.
I think,
That's all
yeah.
right. I'm sure it's cartoon violence, isn't it? He's not.
As if you don't remember this, like literally.
You're not going to go eat a chicken or anything.
We got to 6 hours, well, not 6 hours, but we got to like 4 hours of that game, and we had one person watching. Oh, Lewis, carry on, mate.
No, I mean, I think that person was me, and even I had to go to my bed at one point because you guys were just pissed, and you were talking about pizza. Dan got up to go to the toilet and was away for like 15 minutes.
Yeah,
someone at the door.
Yeah, I mean, talking about Streets of Rage 2, I think what Streets of Rage 4 has is obviously there's that better graphical style, but I don't think I've seen combat as satisfying as in Streets of Rage 4. I've said that before. Just the way the kind of punches and kicks land, just an all-round satisfying experience. £14, man, come on.
It's not bad. It's not bad. I'm going to go with mine next. So Persona 5 Royal Deluxe is £24.74. Weirdly, none of the other like special editions or the standard one are cheaper. It is just Persona 5 Royal Deluxe if you're searching for it online. Considering that game is still pretty much full price everywhere else, I'm surprised that's gone into sale. Because they were giving away, what was it, Persona 5 for like £8 at one point a while ago. I'm trying to remember like the last couple of sales. So yeah, for the latest version of it to come down to that price, and it seems to be just a more accomplished version of that game. So
what is the difference? Sorry, because I have at the last sale, Persona 5. It was one of the Ultimate, whatever it's called, was on sale. But I was like, what's the difference between that Royale, with cheese, and the base game? So what is the difference? What's the difference?
Main point, it's a bit of a different story. So it's like a new main character, well, not main character, but new kind of character in there that you can kind of play. So that's pretty much it, to be honest. But then the story kind of changes in certain sections to kind of match that character. But from what I played, all 45 minutes of it, it's again, it just shoehorns it in really well. It's not obtuse, it's not in your face, it's just very, very subtle. So if you want to play a definitive version of Persona 5, everyone recommends picking up Persona 5 Royale, which is...
Eamon's actually mentioned he's never heard of Persona 5.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
None of us picked up Strikers, did we?
No.
Which is crazy. Like,
I thought you did.
This big. I thought I did, but no, I can't find it anywhere. So apparently not. That one slipped through the net. I'm waiting for it to drop to a reasonable price. I think if it goes sub 30, I might just grab it on a whim. I think
it's mega popular.
Looks good.
Got rave reviews from me, so game. So yeah, I'm keen for it. Ben, you've picked a game for the Switch. What is it?
I have indeed. I've picked Need for Speed Hot Pursuit. I got it about a month ago, and I've had a lot of fun with it. It's a very cool game, very sort of streamlined racing, arcade style racing game. None of this open world. You've got to drive everywhere to get to a race and do different types of events and all that modern stuff. You literally just choose what you're going to do from a map, and then you race. You either chase a bad guy, or you are the bad guy getting chased. And it's really good, and it's $17.99 in Argos at the moment, and it's sub £20 in a lot of other retailers. So I think it's worth a pick up, definitely, and I might even buy it again for the Series X just to see it looking gorgeous as well.
Gorgeous.
That good.
I haven't played a Need for Speed game since I've got one on the PSP. I think it was like Need for Speed Underground 2 or something stupid. And I was driving around Nissan 350Z. And I was like, yeah, boy, it's proper good. So you've got Persona 5 Royal Deluxe for $24.74 on the PlayStation Store. Need for Speed Hot Pursuit remastered on Switch for $17.99. Street Rage 4, £14.59. And AC Valhalla, that's £38. In brackets, that's a total Tory discount. I didn't write that. Somebody did. That is very funny. Okay, and the guest isn't here, so I'm going to delete the guest one. Don't know why I said that. So moving on to the topic of the week that we picked. I think we've only got one person here that's actually playing Monster Hunter at this point in time, and that's you, Ben. But we kind of said with so many new entrants to Monster Hunter, the series, not the person, what game franchise has always tempted you, but you've not dipped your toe into yet? Ben, have you dipped your toe into Monster Hunter in the past? If not, why not?
No, I haven't. I've never really paid any attention to it at all until a few of the guys in our group were playing it. Obviously, Pete is ridiculously into it, and Sticky, I know, played it a lot as well. The previous one, Generations Ultimate, that was on Switch. And I did
review as well, please.
For Generations Ultimate.
Sorry, no, just for Rise.
You jump the gun, Laurie. We're going back. So I was tempted enough to pick it up, but I never actually played it. Story of our life, but yeah. It sounded kind of convoluted and difficult to get into, and you kind of need friends to play with, and you need to read tutorials and study videos, and all of this shit puts me off that as a franchise. But as usual, I kind of got caught up in the hype of this release, and decided to take the plunge. But still, very much it's a tough nut to crack. It's not. I know, Laurie, you said you played it and you played the demo, right? And that was enough for you to go. Yeah, not for you. Yeah. And did you do that as well, Lewis?
Same.
Yeah.
Same thing. 8 minutes. I checked when I quit the game. 8 minutes had passed.
So I deliberately didn't play the demo because I thought it would put me off, as ridiculous as that sounds, because I'm aware that this franchise is something that you need to sink time into to really kind of understand, and I'm definitely not at that stage yet. But I would say, this for me, that's the franchise that is. I've heard so many people raving about it, and every podcast I listen to, it loves Monster Hunter Rise. Like, I've not heard a bad word about it yet. So yeah, I'm happy to finally be jumping into that franchise and slaying some monsters.
And we will hear some thoughts about that. So I think on that same vein, what game franchise has always tempted you, but you've not dipped your toe in yet? Gentlemen, I assume you've all thought of this week. Lewis, I'm going to come to you first and pick on you because you're laughing your head off because I don't think you've got one.
I thought I was going to get away with having Monster Hunter as mine. Fuck.
Nope.
I'm always wanted, as I'm probably going to flex that a little bit. In more recent years, it probably is Persona 5 more than anything else.
Okay, cool.
Just on the basis of how you kind of speak about it, I'm going to kind of avoid any thoughts of Tokyo Mirage sessions.
Different games. That's why.
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah. But I think I was told that Tokyo Mirage is very Persona 5 like, and I seen it and I was like, fucking, if this is what Persona 5's like, you can take my name off that list right now. Yeah, but it probably is that, because I think I'm at the point now where any new, listen, this is going to sound awful, any new experience, again, Monster Hunter can kind of go into this bracket. I give it very little opportunity to win me over.
Yeah.
Like, I'll be like, no, I don't want to have to learn any new mechanics. I don't want to have to watch YouTube videos or ask in Discord for advice and get articles sent to me to read.
It's humiliating.
Because I did find that funny. It's like, how'd you do this? Here's a 4-page article.
Yeah.
20-minute YouTube
I'll
tutorial.
just Google it. Thanks, everyone.
And it's stuff. I mean, it does put me off slightly. Yeah. So I don't give games, and I was the same with ARMS on the Switch. I was kind of the same with Splatoon as well. Not really giving things a chance these days at my old age. But I think, just again on the basis of what you've said, Dan, and how highly you rate it, I might pick up Persona 5 Royal on PS4, and that'll be my way in, I think.
Yeah.
And then I'll blame you if I hate it.
Yeah.
Send me the money back. I bought this because of you.
Win-win.
Send me that money.
No, yeah, I'll do that. I'll hold you to it within the first hour when you realise it's proper weeb shit, and you'll love it. And you'll be like, "Fuck, Dan, what have you done to me?" Laurie, hopefully you're gonna pin anything on me at this point. But what game franchise are you hoping to dip your toe into the water of, but you haven't yet?
Well, the one that I can't never played is Yakuza. Never played a Yakuza game, and they just look like my cup of tea. The problem is just so many of them, and they're, what is it now? Like a Dragon is like Yakuza 7, but it's not called that. But it's, and you try and look back at, okay, where should I jump into this series? And there's Yakuza's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then there's some other, I think, called Kiwami and Kiwami 2, and then there's Yakuza 0. And they just jump around all over the place, and you think, how can I get into this series? And people are like, oh, the new one is kind of like a whole new blank slate, so you can play that. Great, okay. But then I read it's more of an RPG turn-based thing rather than being the more kind of beat 'em up action adventure kind of thing that they've always been before. And the series sounds just like a kind of Sleeping Dogs type series and Shenmue type thing. It's like, yes, this sounds great. It looks great. It's got a great strong storylines, great setting, really interesting. Really want to play those games, but there's just never been a good jumping in point. I thought Like a Dragon was going to be that really good jumping in point, but then, like I say, it sounds like it's more of an RPG, and I don't really want to play that. So
you may have Zero already, because it was a PS Plus game a couple of months ago, and I didn't realize it. But we came off the podcast, didn't we, with Ben, with Rich? Sorry, Ben.
Yeah,
and he kind of talked us through like the order of games and which ones are like remastered versions of 1 and 2. So yeah, I'm exactly the same with you. Wants to jump in that for a while. Everything Rich shared, he just looks like he's having an absolute ball on his own. All of his tweets, he's going, "I've finished this. This is amazing," and then just sharing videos of a chicken running some sort of, I don't know, restaurant or
bowling alley or something.
Bowling alley, yeah. And I'm like, what the fuck is this guy playing? Is he okay? So yeah, I'm with you, but you may have it already. And I think, Ben, was it Kiwami? That's the first.
So yeah, so Kiwami is Yakuza 1, but remade, and then Kiwami 2 is Yakuza 2, I think. So I think Rich said to start with 0, and then Kiwami, and then Kiwami 2, and then 3, 4, 5, 6, Like a Dragon.
They started in the PS2 days, don't they? The series. Was it a PlayStation 2 game originally?
I don't know.
It was a long time ago, I know that.
Oh god, yeah, they're old. They're really old.
Well, I've been really, really tempted to get Like a Dragon, and it's only £24 at the moment on Series X. That's quite tempting.
Whenever anyone says Like a Dragon, I keep on getting Ace of Base, Life as a Flower playing in my head, and I have no idea why. It just keeps on popping in there, and I don't think.
See, I always get Cisco Unleash the Dragon, but that's a different thing.
That is a different.
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
Lots of love for Yakuza in the chat, by the way, before we move on.
I thought you were going to say Cisco in the chat. I was like, fair play.
Cisco's here.
Big love for Cisco. He was actually the guest that was supposed to come on tonight.
There we go.
Imagine.
I know, yeah.
Next week.
Hey, he's been on Kind of Funny quite a bit, so he probably would. Ben, what's the series that you've never jumped into and don't say Monster Hunter?
Well, God, there's so many, really, that I had a very long, dark ages without playing video games. But I suppose the one, and it's one that I've tried, but just it hasn't grabbed me, and it is Final Fantasy.
Okay.
Like, and it bothers me that I haven't properly engaged with it yet. Like, I think I tried 7 first, didn't I? And then I tried 9 when that was in Game Club a couple of months ago. And yeah, it really pisses me off because I just think maybe I should just try 7 Remake next. Just because it's a modern interpretation of it, and maybe if I can fall in love with it that way and then work my way back, having some sort of reverence for the source material, maybe that would be the way to do it. But it genuinely annoys me that I haven't clicked with it yet,
especially when you've like become this big JRPG fan as well, and you're looking for that warm, cuddly game to play of an evening. Like, most of the games are like that as well. They're a little bit dire at times, as in like end of the world kind of shit. But yeah, I'm surprised that it's not gelled. But maybe 12 would.
Yeah.
I don't know. If you had a copy of 12, then it might fucking stick, Ben. You know, as if it would just fucking sat there.
Forget I mentioned it.
Forget you mentioned it. Scratch it from the list. Yeah, my series that I've never played is Mass Effect. So I've never played any of the games, and I know it's cardinal sin for a lot of gamers. Just kind of show of a verbal. Ben, you never played any of the Mass Effect games? Yeah.
I don't really know what it is.
No. Lewis? No.
Me neither. And I'm kind of in the same boat, but I know there's a guy called like Captain Shepard or something like that. So.
Yeah. So like I've seen these games. I absolutely loved BioWare of old. But I only loved Dragon Age as a franchise. So I just never got into Mass Effect, even though both of the games kind of shared similar traits. As in, I think like same engine, same mechanics, very very focused on like conversation in the game and like skill trees and all that kind of stuff. Laurie, you revere these games, don't you? Especially Mass Effect 2. Come on, talk.
Mass Effect 2 is probably my favourite game of all time.
Oh.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, and if you guys have never played them, then the remaster trilogy thing that's coming out in May, I think.
Yep.
What a great place to jump into them, because they've refined all the gameplay kind of stuff and they standardized it between the 3 games, and that would just be such a great, amazing time. If you've never played those games, you've got to invest a shit ton of time in them, but to get all 3 of them done. But oh man, you guys, if you do play them now, you'd be in for an absolute treat.
It's BioWare.
They're all on Game Pass, aren't they, as well? I think.
Yeah, I think they are. BioWare, yeah. That's who it is.
Yeah, they did Knights of the Old Republic, which is one of my favourite games ever. So, you know, there is that.
Pete literally talks about, obviously, Knights of the Old Republic and Mass Effect to death, and he's always loved both. But I think it was that kind of thing of like, that's Pete's franchise, so I never got involved in it when I was a kid. I was like, I'm in Dragon Age. Just like, it just, I don't know, just never got into it.
So, Knights of the Old Republic, people call that KOTOR, don't they?
KOTOR,
yes.
Yeah. Only recently I've realised that that's the game we're talking about.
Oh, really?
Like, I hear podcasts talking about, KOTOR is so amazing. And I just assumed it was something like Conan the Barbarian or something like that. KOTOR! Hack and slash game. Oh, KOTOR! And yeah, I just recently put 2 and 2 together. So, yet again, revealing my ignorance on the podcast.
That's not a bad thing. It's okay. It's what we're here for. It's the nature of the podcast. It's here to shame us as well as shame others. Speaking of which, should we pick up and play?
Let's do it.
Let's fucking do it. Pick up and play. This is where we talk about the things that we picked up, and these are the things that we played. I'm going to quickly talk about the thing that I picked up this week. That was fuck all, but I played Bravely Default 2. We'll get to that in a minute, because I think that's something, Ben, you've been playing. Is that right?
Yes, not so much this week, but I certainly have put a good chunk of time in.
Good chunk of time. That's fine. 45 minutes. Ben, what have you picked up this week? You absolute arsehole.
Obviously, the Xbox Series X has been
dickhead.
The main pick up, and that has been great fun. It's a very impressive piece of kit. I'm sorry. Do you want me? I can just skim over it if you don't want me to talk.
Are,
No,
are you
keep
like
going,
a kid
keep
in a
going.
sweet shop, Ben, where you fire it on for the first time and you're like, what do I play? There's everything here. That's what I'd be like. It'd be like an absolute buffet of riches. It would be.
It is a buffet of riches. I'm
Buffet
just
of
picturing
riches.
Rich. Just loads of
Gaming riches.
stuff.
A smorgasbord.
Yeah. It is. You're kind of spoiled for choice. But so I've been just dipping into the ones that have been like Series X optimized, or they've had a frame rate boost and things like that. So like playing Dishonored for Game Club this month.
Okay.
I played about an hour of that. It looks amazing. Like obviously character models and what have you look dated, but it runs kind of buttery smooth. Titanfall 2 looks fantastic, and it looked really good anyway. Dirt 5, just it that feels like a proper next gen game. But there hasn't been one that I've got into, and this is part of the Game Pass problem, isn't it? It's you just go, oh, I love a bit of that. Oh, I love a bit of that. You know, in a buffet of riches.
And it's like the UX UI improved on the Series X.
It's exactly the same.
Is it
Like
the same?
literally, I could have just not told anyone that we've got a new Xbox, and nobody would have been any the wiser. Like you wouldn't know. Like obviously, I noticed because the UI is way snappier.
Okay.
And you go into the store, and I'm sure you have this on PS5. You go to the store, and it's just there straight away.
Yeah.
There's no like, it's trying to connect or whatever. The little things like that. The quick resume stuff is very cool. So I was like flicking between like Celeste and Forza just to kind of test it out, and it's really cool. It's a fun toy to have.
Arsehole. Lewis, what have you picked up?
So I picked up some old stuff. Wait there. It's a couple of things. So a
embarrassment of
while ago,
riches.
I'd asked my mum to dig out my old things, and she's found some of the stuff, but not everything. So here's the first thing. It's my old Nintendo 64.
Wow.
Ben.
Best console ever, Ben. Also, a few games here for the 64. I've got there's Perfect Dark
Great game.
Nice.
out of the box.
How many controllers do you have? Still.
I think there's only one there.
Can I
but I
come
remember
round?
having it. Yeah, on you come.
Yeah.
I remember having two because I had a yellow one as well. The classic, FPS classic, Quake 2.
Ooh, great game.
Good port. That.
And then boxed, I've got Smash 64.
Nice.
And the place where the Wilsonite lives, WWF No Mercy.
Is he still on there?
Can you
He's
stream
still
that?
there. He's still on there.
Find a way to stream it, please. Can we stream the Wilsonite?
We need
Yeah.
to see Wilson.
Also, I used my GameCube controller for some Smash Brothers earlier in the week because I've got the 8-bit Bluetooth adapter.
Yeah, Harry Potter there.
So that 8-bit Final Fantasy VI for the PlayStation.
Lovely.
Now, on here it says it contains a Final Fantasy X demo disc. Now, I must admit, this is actually
10?
my sister's.
10.
Yeah, demo disc for 10. I didn't understand it. It must have been a really early.
PS2 game.
Yeah. There you go, PlayStation game. Also, Rayman for PlayStation. The PlayStation was my sister's. My mum's given me my sister's computer.
This is in the chat now, like, oi.
Yeah, give me that back. Last
in the
three items here for the Sega Mega Drive. Chuck Rock,
Okay.
Oh,
Ah.
good memories of that.
Great game.
great game. Paperboy, classic.
Banger.
And these have all got like there's the manual, like all still with manuals. Who's
Paperboy is one of those games that as a kid, like everyone loved, but if you play it now, you'd be like, I can't believe people used to go out and spend 40 quid on this.
Yeah.
You're just going up a road throwing papers at it. You think people
You
have a
say
go at
that.
developers now for games for not being like massive enough or not being long enough.
Have you played Video Kid on the Switch?
I have not.
it's basically like a modern Paperboy, like with voxel graphics, and you're delivering videos instead of papers, and it's got loads of 80s references in it and things like that. It's a really cool little game. I know Mark Hammond is a big fan of that as well. Great game.
Just quickly looking at the manual that comes with Chuck Rock, one of the standout statements here is belly butt your way to Ophelia. Okay.
Wow.
Okay, wow.
Go on then.
And last...
Proper made me laugh. Somebody diss Paperboy. Laurie went with Paperboy shit. We lost a follower on YouTube. It went,
Is that true?
yeah. It's so
Oh my God.
You'll be able to pick it up on the audio. That's fucking brilliant.
Oh no.
Oh, so good.
I'll start following us. I'll make up.
and last is Sonic 3D Flicky's Island. Not a great game.
Not the
Your
best.
favourite superhero is back. Superhero? My.
You can find
And
it.
a few other...
I said, I think you'll find he's a hedgehog, not a superhero. Laurie, you're a superhero. I don't know how to segue into that. What have you
Thanks, Dan.
Pleasure, mate. Have you picked up anything this week? Anything of interest?
I have not picked up anything this week now.
Okay, cool. Well, you can start us off by telling us what you've been playing.
Control Ultimate Edition. I finished this week.
What do you think?
Yeah. I absolutely loved it.
Have you done all the DLC or just the main game, or what was the crack?
No. I finished the main. I rolled credits, and then I'll take a little break from it, and then I'll come back to it for the rest of the DLC. I like to do that when you have these like Game of the Year editions, because if you were playing it normally, you'd finish the game, you'd have a little pause, and then you'd come back to it when the DLC releases. So I tend to do that as well when I get these editions with everything on it. It's such a good game. I loved it. It's such a everything about it. The world building, the atmosphere of it all, the combat, the powers, all of it. I thought it was great. I loved it, and it just looks and runs so well on PS5 as well.
You said a couple of tweets around specific parts in the game. You were just like, it's started to ramp up towards the end. Yeah, and the what's the specific section? It's not the
Astro Maze.
Astro Maze. Yeah. Very, very cool game.
It's just that bit is just towards the end of the game, and you've got all your powers, and they just give you the perfect kind of arena to use them all in, and it's kind of 5-10 minutes of just pure intense fun. Basically, it just gives you all the powers and just the perfect place to use them all in. It's fantastic.
It is beautiful. It's a great game as well. Lewis, you look like you're doing a scratch card. What have you been playing?
I've just opened up the Sonic 3D Flicky's Island manual, and it says here, I'll go to the last item here. Use the game on as small a television screen as possible, preferably 14 inches or smaller. But then further up it says, set at least 8 feet away. You need a pair of fucking binoculars to see the telly.
That's a very so basically you've got to squint and then play it from very, very far away.
Yeah.
Not a great looking game then. What have you been playing then, Lewis? Hopefully not Sonic.
No, not Sonic. Retro Mania Wrestling. I've been kind of tracking it over the last couple of months. It's kind of cool looking 2D, sort of maybe NES era style wrestling game released on Tuesday. I had a bit of trouble with their certification on consoles. It released on PC late in February, but finally, about a month and a bit later, it's come on Switch. It's just like it's really, really easy to get a pick up and play, you know. For 10 minutes, play a couple of matches, put it back down again. If you kind of like old school wrestling games, like what I do, and not the 2K series, but just like a really simple, really effective, fun game. I'm really chuffed that I kind of noticed it, and I was worried that I was paying too much attention. I was like every day going on to their Twitter going, has there been any fucking updates yet? And I was like, am I just building it up in my head for something that it's not? But I'm really, really happy, really chuffed with it. I think I'd mentioned today in Discord that I was playing it, and Mark and Alex both mentioned it. I think maybe Jason too mentioned that they were considering picking it up. But a good little game. I think it's like 18 quid. That's discounted on the eShop. It's also on Xbox, Steam, PS4 still pending. Oh yeah, good.
Has it Has it got kind of like rip-offs of old wrestling characters and stuff?
Some. So because I've not watched wrestling in about 20 years, but it does have. So I was like, is this guy real? So there are some real people. There are some made-up characters, but the Hawk and Animal, Legion of Doom, Road Warriors, they're in it. So I've been using them quite a bit because it's the Legion of Doom. So yeah, they've been getting used quite a bit. Yeah, good fun. Good fun.
I'm a bit interested in this, I must say. Is it does it have online multiplayer?
Not yet, but I think it might get added. So I think the dev team for this is a relatively small group of people.
Okay. And is it would you say it's like simple enough for and non-violent enough for kids to play? Not for me, for kids to play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If Streets of Rage is your bar, then this is fine.
Okay, fine. Suitable for children. You heard it here first, fine.
It's got like the old. So I was going to say like the old kind of arcade aesthetic as well. When you're in a grapple, and it's got like the button going like press the button like here on the side of the screen, which I really really like, and the aesthetics to it. Yeah, very Streets of Ragey. So
yeah. There's like a few different modes. There's a story mode, which I think they will have to add more to it because it ended for me today and just say to be continued after not very long, maybe 45 minutes of playtime, maybe an hour. Excuse me, of playtime. And there's like this £10 of gold mode. I don't quite understand what it is. And then like a Royal Rumble, then a standard versus, so exhibition match where you can have steel cages, all that kind of stuff. Good fun little game.
Cool.
You're going to need to get one of these, Lewis, aren't you? So you can play it properly in arcade style.
I was waiting for that.
Yeah.
We'd see that.
Ben, I've actually been tracking that on Amazon. Every so often, I mean, I'll like check Amazon like every like 2 hours, and you got the items in your basket, save for later. I'll flash up saying, "Oh, an item is decreased in price." This it's gone down at what? Because I remember I asked you, like, "Oh, it was about 70 quid." It was 76. Now it's down at 69, and it's continuing to drop.
Wow. What's your kind of biting point?
A 40.
Okay, keep monitoring.
We said that to like will it into existence. 40?
40?
You guys we should really get to know someone at 8-Bit Do and just get them to
If you
send
bear
us
with
stuff
me,
to test out.
I'll give you a live update. Live update. This is
Go on.
8 minutes to 10 on Thursday. What's the date? The 1st of April. An important message for items in your basket. One item in your saved items has changed price. 8-Bit Do arcade stick for Nintendo Switch and Windows has increased from $67.90 to $68.21. Honestly, this has been fluctuating like a motherfucker, so I'm going to keep an eye on it.
Keep us posted.
Oh, well done.
Speaking of keep posted, Bravely Default 2, Ben. Let's finally talk about it. We've been waiting for a while anyway. I've been playing this as my like little bedtime game, and whilst I've been winding down from work, I've been probably plugging it on for about 20-30 minutes at a time. This is a fucking charming little game that I'm exceptionally surprised by. I thought I was going to hate this.
Yeah. I thought you were.
Yeah.
To be quite honest.
Should we just leave it there? That's fine.
Tell me more. Tell me more.
I
spoke about it last week, so go, fill your boots.
Very, very surprised. Yeah, I think from playing it a little bit more now, it started to click with me, and the repetition of it, and the kind of like little tutorial area that you're in. It's gorgeous in a way that I prefer the art style to Octopath.
Wow.
I'm not massively keen on the chibi characters, but I do like the backgrounds a lot more. And I love the pressing in the R trigger and then zooming out and seeing your character kind of like right at the top. You can see the whole map and everything that you need to kind of go to.
It's like watercolors, yeah?
Yeah. Kind of.
It's painterly, isn't it?
Yeah, it's got that kind of vibe to it, but it's just gorgeous. It looks 3D-esque in the way that it's almost like a little model on the screen, but it's also really, really simple to play. So there is no real obtuse kind of try and find. The side quests, you just press the R button in and it'll immediately track everything you need to go and speak to pick up all the like little tiny quests that you want to do, and it'll tell you if a shop's got new items in it. It'll tell you all the time where you need to go to either complete a side quest or the main quest. The fighting in it and the battle system's really simple, easy to get used to. Although I do think it is quite overpowered. At least at the moment. I know people say that the difficulty scales up, so I don't know if you've got quite there yet, Ben, from your side.
Yeah, I played it on easy. I don't know if you publicly admit that you've got it on easy as well. Or...
I would rather not confirm or deny what I'm
cool.
playing it on. That's fine.
But yeah, so it does pack a punch later on. I think Elena from Patreon has got kind of stuck at a point where I've got past that point, but I think I know the fight she was talking about, and I think if I hadn't have spent the entire like previous weekend just grinding just for fun
in the game,
then I think in the game and in real life, then I think I would have probably struggled. But she's playing it on normal, and I think she's just playing it properly. So, well, I'm just going to make myself really powerful and walk through these fights. Brilliant. But you can play it that way. It's respectful of your time.
And then even the voice acting in it is actually pretty decent, and the Scottish character is quite
really,
charming.
it really put me off.
It put me, if anything, it was better than having like the northern characters in Xenoblade Chronicles 2. You need to do the voice, Lewis.
There's a guy, right? So his name's Elvis, right? I played the demo as part of. I mean, I played it for 7 minutes, so one less than Monster Hunter. And Ben, listen, you had messaged me. You're like, I think you should give it another chance. The Elvis guy is he's an alky or whatever it was. He said to me, I can't remember. I was like, oh, is he? Right, okay, I'll try it again then. I didn't get on with it, but the what made me switch it off initially was at the end of a fight, the Scottish guy went, away and boil your head, and I was like, get fucked. I just honestly just hit the home button and quit the game. I was like, fuck this. I'm not having that. I'm not having that. Outrage.
The other thing he does, he casts a spell and goes, eat sorcery. Brilliant.
Yeah, it was like,
I
can't cope with that.
You definitely need to get the voice actor on and see exactly what sort of method acting they asked him to perform in it, because it was phenomenal.
I want to like it as a thing. I want to like it.
Yeah, it's good.
It is. It's nothing. It's nothing mind blowing, is it, Dan? It's completely inoffensive, and you can kind of even forget. Like I haven't played it properly for about a week now, but. I kind of think, okay, well, I've got that loaded up on the Switch Lite. I'll just, jump back into it. And I don't feel like I'd, like some RPGs are so dense that you feel like if you step away for a minute, you're going to forget everything. This just feels like it's comfortable. It's like a good little book.
Yeah, it is.
Bedtime story.
It's nice and polite. It is nice and polite. Speaking of nice and polite, so Ben, you kind of started speaking about your game that you've been playing a lot of. How much have you been playing Monster Hunter Rise?
I don't think I've been playing it enough. I think I have not put in the required hours to be able to give a full...
Too busy watching YouTube videos.
Too busy
How many
reading
hours are you
tutorials. I think I've probably put in about maybe 5 hours, which is
to still not be able to play it.
Well, no, I mean I can play it. Like I can go out, I can kill a monster, and then I can come back and I can go right. Here's some materials I got from the monster. Can I upgrade my armor? Yes, I can. Wonderful. What next? Go and kill another monster. All right, I will. And that's fine, and that's all well and good, and quite good fun. It just hasn't. People are so addicted to this game, and I don't quite. It hasn't quite got its hooks in me yet, or its talons, I should say, in me yet, because I don't think I've had I'm playing it in kind of half hour, 1 hour chunks as and when I get time, and it just seems like something you have to just sit and play for hours to get that loop, to get properly sucked into the world and start understanding some of the clever stuff that the game's doing. It's very complex and convoluted.
You'd seem to you said the other day that you felt like you turned a corner on it.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So you because kind of jokingly negative about it initially because of how convoluted and contrived it is. But you seem
I'm glad you picked up that was a joke as well. It's kind of what we do, isn't it? But yeah, but genuinely, it was very I think overwhelmed is how I felt when I first started it, because literally I like to play a game that teaches me how to play it just by me playing it. Without every 5 seconds a pop up when you have to read 2 pages of text for something that you might have to remember in 30 hours time, like how to ride a fucking, I don't know, animal, whatever. And and there's so many parts like that's a big part of it. You've got this like wire bug mechanic where you can shoot off into the sky and kind of pull yourself up the side of mountains, and you can use it to kind of tie the monsters up and stuff, and you can ride them. But all of that, you're like, I don't know. Come on.
No, I didn't mean like that. It was just the way when you can ride them. It's just like reel off all the things you can do. You can play with them. You can feed them. It's like a Tamagotchi.
Feed them. And there's a lot going on that it's impossible. It's not like it's spaced out like in games where you pick up a skill just through playing it. Like, 10 hours into a game, you can do this now, and this is what it does, and blah blah blah. It's all there straight at the start. So it's pretty overwhelming. But I did turn a corner because I started to get like, right, okay, I understand now why I'm going out and killing these monsters. And I think it is just the basic loot grind, as far as I can tell. And games like that never really sing to me, like stuff like Destiny. I played a lot of Diablo 3 when that came out on Switch, but I don't think I really knew why. I think the gameplay just felt good, but I don't think I ever thought like, I need to go and do one more run because then I can get some better stuff that no one's going to ever see and just makes me more powerful. So I don't know. I think maybe I just need to play it online with some friends, because I've been playing it completely solo up until this point, and it feels like it maybe is supposed to be an online game.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know. But yeah, it's a very confusing game, but there's enough there to make me want to scratch beneath the surface and kind of understand it fully, really. So I'll stick at it.
Cool. Interesting. Cool. All right. Well, that's Monster Hunter Rise, and that concludes Pick Up and Play of the week. I probably would say I need to jump into Monster Hunter Rise. Like, I've had it sat on the shelf now for a week or whenever it came out, and it literally is not out of the wrapper. And I made the joke of, as soon as I saw the front cover, I was like, really don't want to play this game. It's like, it really doesn't appeal to me. Why have I bought this? Which obviously is suicidal when your missus is already going, is that another Shop 2 package, Dan? I was like, get off it. So yeah.
Well, what might be good is if we can do like me, you, and like Max and Nate, for example.
No, just the two of you.
How do you do that? Two experts. And we should obviously, it would be remiss of us to not mention Nate's excellent review in some magazine. Actually, it was awesome when I got the notification email from Nintendo when it released.
Yeah.
It had a quote from Nate in that email from Nintendo. It was really good.
That's cool.
Very cool. Makes you proud.
I was well expecting him to like proper go, yeah, I've done it. Put a GIF and something in it. He was just like, oh, thanks guys, I'm really happy. But fuck off, get happy. Nintendo email. It's fucking brilliant. Nearly as good as Laurie's tweet that time. Kind of, a little bit. Apart from when Nintendo stole it, which was hilarious as well, because that was just like, yeah, that's... Oh,
I wonder
fantastic.
what the numbers are on that now, actually.
Yeah, it's a good point, actually. Laurie, need to find out. Eamon in the chat said, I'm starting to get more into it now, but I don't know how much of this is genuine enjoyment rather than forcing myself to get into it and enjoy it. Presume he's talking about Monster Hunter Rise.
Bloody hope so.
Let's hope so. In the chat. Mark said, fuck off, Paperman is amazing. Paperboy even. It was almost 2. And yeah, that concludes our evening's entertainment. Oh, Eamon, what you like? Chaps, first off, Laurie, where can we find you online, my friend?
On Twitter at the Eggman64, please.
If I said that on Twitter, as if like I was a fucking idiot. Cheers, mate. Lewis, where can we find you, mate?
You can find me on Twitter at that Dr. Fact.
Ben, where can we find you online?
You can find me on Twitter at BenjiCon.
Wonderbar. And if you like what we do, go over to the crossplayers.com and you can find all of our podcast links there. Alternatively, go to the crossplayers.com/Discord and you'll be able to get all notifications when we go live and talk to Lewis's face a little bit more often, which is always good. And Laurie, you've been engaging a little bit more in Discord as well recently, I've noted.
Have I?
Have you?
Has
I
he?
don't know. I thought you had.
You always know you can if you join Discord,
may
you
have
can
been a
even
dream.
at Laurie and really sort of slay him. He'll never see it because he doesn't. I don't even think he has the app installed. So there's been a few. Laurie, if you
Sometimes
download-
I'll check in and I'll be very active for like a day or two, and then I'll just there's too many things popping up on my phone. I can't look at that as well.
I know, yeah.
New follower.
Yeah.
Boring.
You're not
Sake.
worth his time, basically.
Disgraceful. And if you like more of that attitude, go over to patreon.com/thecrossplayers.
If you too want to be flagged off, but
If you two don't want to engage with Laurie, go to the Discord channel. And you can find me over at Dan Ward Tweets. We have been the Crossplayers. It's been the CrossCast. Good evening, everyone. Have a wonderful long weekend. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Happy Easter. Bye, everyone. Bye.
Peace.
Kept you waiting.
Huh?